pause on that. Oh my God. It's episode 11. It's episode 11. There's only 2 episodes left. We go to 12, and then that's it. We're going to say goodbye to Dr. Freya, Locke, to Rook, to Elgon III. We're going to say goodbye to these characters in just 4 hours of total playtime. I'm pumped. I am very psyched about tonight because I don't know what's going to happen. I have thought about this game every day for the last several weeks, couple months now. And I am kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. And you guys have been such great players at throwing me for a loop. And I have tried to respond as best I can. But what's about to happen here in the end? I don't know. And if you guys thought episode 8 was gnarly, I think tonight we're going to lose some more people. That's right. For those of you listening, this, by the way, what's up, everybody? I'm Jay. This is Out of Depth Plays, Analysis Complete, a Mothership role-playing game, actual play podcast. All of that means is that we play Mothership role-playing game, a science fiction horror game, and we try to improvise the coolest badass story that we can, and everybody has been quite successful at that so far. I have to say, it's been fucking awesome. This is the raw recording, so if you're watching this on YouTube or streamed on Twitch, this is the raw recording. We edited this down, add in a little special effects, tweak David's voice to sound like a robot, and some other stuff. And you want to check that out, you can find links down in the deep down below. And yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm really excited to be here. It's episode 11. I'm worried, but I think you guys are going to do okay. Gail?
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I feel good.
Feeling positive?
I feel very positive. I mean, yeah. There's 2 Freya locks out there, so spoiler alert if somebody's just joining episode 11.
Yeah. If you haven't watched 1 through 10, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Go back to 1. Go back to 1. Reading, our time here with each other is almost coming to a close. You can lie to me if you want to, but how much of you personally is thinking, I cannot wait for next Tuesday? So
For what reason?
You're taking a lot of sips.
This is sparkling water. This is
No, yeah. No. When you go to Vegas, don't gamble too much. Don't do anything where you have to bluff.
I'm gonna be rolling. I'm gonna be playing craps and just rolling 2 d10s, d100, just because I'm so caught up.
Where did he brought these fucking dice from? What is that?
Can I gamble here at Mothership at the Mothership table?
Yeah.
No, it's been a great time. It's been a great 3 months. This game is very underrated, and more people need to play Mothership. I hope when it officially releases, which is going to be in October, or
October, November, somewhere around there. Sometime this fall is when people who back the Kickstarter should be getting their boxes. Shipping. All of that.
When
with a grain of salt, but yeah.
If people have friends that don't play tabletop games, these friends are going to be like, I want to play D&D. I want to do what's on Stranger Things or whatever. No. Introduce them to games like this. Way easier to get, more relatable, and you're going to have way more of a insane time. So
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, when we started playing Mothership, you didn't send me a manual or a book or anything to read. This is all I got. I just got this character page, and there was literally no homework before we started, aside from just creating our character on that day, which is crazy because most other systems there's a lot of prep work involved.
Here, watch some of these videos to learn how to do this. Learn how to make this character. Yeah, but Dave, you're about to finish a 2nd season with us. Are you regretting it? Going 2 back to back?
I'm regretting that we didn't pack a third season into this time. There were so many more stories we could have told.
With these characters, maybe, yeah.
With these characters.
No, it's been a blast. I mean, season 1 exceeded my expectations. Season 2 exceeded my expectations. So clearly, I need to set higher expectations.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Not too high. Be gentle.
You know, I told Jay, actually, once we realized that we missed so many days, I was like, you know, if we ever wanted to go back and just play through whatever happened in those 200 days, like, that would be fun. And now apparently most of us were in pods for that or shut down. I guess we could play Levi and Wakefield.
It's an interesting thing of, like, you know, because, like, you may be a clone, but your Freya Locke is very different. Like, those 200 days could have changed her. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Those are some traumatic days that.
There's been a number of times where the Freya I'm playing is like, so what would I do if I was in her shoes? And I'm like, oh, I would do this. And then there's this feeling of like, I don't know that I would do that. There's 200 days that she lived that I have no idea. Like, yeah. I have no idea what she's thinking.
You're permanently different people that have a very, very similar.
Have
background.
Diverged.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
And speaking of divergence, last week, the party officially split. Dr. Freya Locke went after George Asper. Elgon III, previously known as Castor, went back to the camp to save Rook. They quadruple teamed this hound creature, one of these alien creatures that you all have encountered before. This encounter ended with Rook shish kebabbing this monster with a spear. It also resulted in the death of the original, so they say, Sergeant Levi. And a decision was made that Rook was going to go after Dr. Freya Locke and George Asper and go to the laboratory where he was created to try and free the original people who set out on this trip. While he's doing that, Elgon has decided to accompany Cassidy Garland and Captain Wakefield back to the Haven and potentially to pick up some power cells to power the Ballista and get the hell out of here. Unfortunately, Captain Wakefield is terribly wounded. So it's been a little slow going, but Elgon III made the decision to pour some of Dr. Freya Locke's blood into Captain Wakefield's open wound. A little science experiment created by our android to see if the healing properties of these clones is transferable to regular folk.
I didn't even ask his blood type first. It was reckless.
I know. This could end really badly. Why would it end badly? And while Elgon and Wakefield and Cassidy Garland are resting and eating one of their rations, they're getting closer to the Haven. A ship breaks through the atmosphere and lands. Elgon uses his binocular vision to see that this ship belongs to QuestGen. QuestGen was not the company that sent our crew originally. That was Pantadyne Industries. QuestGen, however, does have some connections to Dr. Freya Locke and some connections to Elgon. So, when we start our story with the ship landing, it is several city block distances away from you all. So it's not close. But you don't know if they've spotted you when they landed.
Right. Do we think it looks like maybe an hour away, less than that?
If you walk there, maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how close are we to the Haven now?
I believe you all are half a day. I think.
Oh, we're still half a day away.
Yeah, this is happening in the middle of the day. You guys walked.
Interesting. So walking to the Haven from here would be taking us further away from the ship.
No,
pretty drastically.
you
No.
would run alongside that ship to the Haven, and potentially to the Ballista. But yeah, you could probably all fit it in. But more importantly than that is Cassidy Garland gets up and starts waving her arms at this ship. And you can see her starting to sob. You can hear it. We're saved. They came for us. And she doesn't have the information that you do. She doesn't see what the name of the ship is. She just knows there's a ship. And when you've been stranded for 270 plus days, any ship is a good ship. Hey! Hey! And she's just yelling, hoarse.
Cassidy,
Huh?
there is no guarantee that this ship is here to rescue us. In fact, I feel I should tell you, this ship is not from Pantadine Industries.
Oh, who cares? I mean, they're human. They're Earth.
Yes, but
Let's
I do
go.
believe this is likely another ship with its own agenda, and it could be very helpful to us, but it could also easily be the opposite.
Why? I don't. What are you saying? I don't understand. Let's get Captain Wakefield. Captain, let's get up. Let's go.
I can guarantee that this ship is not just going to leave as soon as we arrive, but we can certainly meet them.
Please, yeah. Look, if they can help us fix our ship, that's cool. We'll take the Ballista home and get out of here. And we got to tell them. We have to tell them what's going on. They don't know what they're walking into, Castor.
That would be the ethical thing to do. I believe you're right, yes.
You all look back at Captain Wakefield, and his face is very pale from blood loss. And he looks like he's shaking, like he's very, very cold.
Captain, do you need to stop and rest? Perhaps eat?
You all have been resting for only 10 minutes at this point when the ship landed. And he says, we gotta go. We have to warn them. We have to warn them to leave. And as he's saying that, you can hear off in the distance the opening of a bay door out the back of the ship. The creaking of metal. And it's like a giant garage door coming down that creates a ramp out the back of this ship. In the distance, you can see, a moment later, you can see an ATV roll out. It's got.
Does it look like a combat ATV, or is it like?
It's another lightweight four-wheeler like the ones you all had.
And how big is this ship compared to the Ballista? In terms
Smaller.
Of like, it's smaller. Okay.
Yeah, it's smaller.
Okay.
It's kind of like a smaller class,
Mm-hmm.
kind of cute little jetty thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see on this ATV that's rolling around, there's one driver, and then on the back sitting, instead of a basket, there is just like another Mason unit riding on the back, facing outward, just strapped in, and just sitting upright as it's getting wheeled around.
And where are they heading?
It looks like they're roaming around, and you can see the Mason is like looking in all directions. It's probably scanning around.
I believe I still have one of those glow sticks, so I'm going to take one out, snap it, and try and hail them.
Okay. Yeah, it stops. And again, you're looking at this from a long distance. The android is pointing in your all's direction. And you can see the figure sitting on the ATV is in this black spacesuit with a black helmet, very similar to like a motorcycle helmet. It has a tinted visor. And it sees you all, pauses, and then wheels around and goes back onto their ship.
Oh.
Yeah.
It sees us and... Oh, man. Please. That's ominous.
What's wrong, Dave?
Okay. All right. Seems like they were just interested in scouting, not necessarily interacting with us at this point. There is a fair chance that these people may mean us harm. I do not know what to do.
Castor, I don't know why you're so suspicious of these people. But
Well,
they've got to be here looking for us. We have all kinds of data, and we still have to help them.
this ship was sent by QuestGen. And it was sent by either one of two people. One of these people loves me, and the other one hates me. I'm very concerned with which one of them sent this ship.
Dr. Freya Locke, Rook, and Dr. George Asper are trudging through these cypress trees. It's like a maze. And yet there is a feeling among all three of you that you know where you're headed. Rook, you've been there and come back, and you feel like you know the path. Dr. Freya Locke and George Asper both have a kind of tingling sensation over their body that increases the closer and closer they get. And it's not long. Close to the end of the day, that you all see this massive dome made of stone. And at the front of it are a pair of large, dark, double doors that shimmer in what little light is left in the day.
Here we are.
Well, Dr. Locke, there it is.
I think George and I have to go in. Do you have
I'll-
a plan for you? You're
I'll,
welcome, I guess, but I'm
yeah.
not sure if you're better out here.
What could be so bad in there? Besides, they might
True.
have a casino in there. I could do some light gambling. I've been taking chances all this time. Why not, gamble a few credits?
Rook, you were in there. Did you see any slot machines?
No, but this time I got a fancy suit on. I'm not, streaking throughout the whole thing, Maybe they got a protocol that you gotta be dressed up a little bit before they can serve me.
Oh, Rook, you're just redonkulous.
Besides, you need muscle. I got it.
Yeah. Can I do something real quick?
Maybe not. I don't know.
I want to try my psionics on him. I want to see if I can connect with Rook's mind.
Sure, go for it. What do you want to do?
I just want to see if I can, hear what he's thinking.
Create a little walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Can we actually go over that there, Jay? I remember at the end of last session you said that we all had psionics or something like that.
They do. You don't.
I do not. Okay.
They are built for it.
I succeeded. 21.
Okay. Rook, you feel a connection happening in your mind. Dr. Freya, what is it exactly that you want to do? And I'm going to let him save.
I just want to say, in his mind, all right, we're connected now.
Yeah, Rook, she pulls a ventriloquist act and she speaks in your head.
Okay. Could you have done this whole time, or is this new?
Both?
You mind saying it like a few octaves higher? I just want to make sure that I'm not just imagining it right now. Or a few octaves lower.
Hello, Rook. Hello,
Okay.
Rook.
Okay, you gotta fucking stop there right now. What the hell? Cool. You're in my head now. Along with all the other bullshit. What am I thinking about right now? What number am I thinking of right now? What number?
What number are you thinking about?
What number am I thinking of right now? 0 through 100.
Gail, if you can get this number, 1 through 100, something very special is going to happen.
Wait, so I don't even get, a clue since I'm connected to him?
Gail gets to guess this number. No, you don't get a clue.
Oh,
you have to
okay.
guess a number from
Gail
1 to
gets
100.
to- 69.
You might have thought that I was thinking that, but I was trying really, really hard not to choose that number in my head.
Yeah,
No.
it's like saying don't think about pink elephants. Yeah.
Exactly. No, it was 54. 54. Well,
Gail, you could have got a new superpower or something if you hit that one. I'm lying. I'm lying.
you,
No, I definitely would have. I would have enforced the issue.
this might come in handy. Dr. Asp, you in my brain too?
Would you like for me to do that?
Hell yeah, bring all the voices,
And then you hear inside your head, and so it is.
This has to be useful. The military could use this type of thing, but I won't tell.
Thanks.
I connect with George's mind too. I'm like,
Yeah.
you ready?
Cool. Are you guys going to go in?
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Locke starts walking.
Is there only one entrance in and out
Yeah.
from what I saw? Okay.
Jay, quit bouncing in your seat like a little boy. He's just seat dancing.
You two. Before we go in, just get my mind straight here. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Why did we come all this way?
You're here to save the others, right?
We're here to save the others.
We're here to meet our maker. And we may need both of our help dealing with him while you save the others.
And to get this
Yes.
straight again, we think the maker is in that little dome.
I'm positive he's in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the machinery is in there, and that made you. But you want, like, the maker of the machines that made you. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, yes.
The analyst.
Because I didn't see no... I saw robots. I saw people, but I didn't see no alien-looking thing with, like, 4 eyes.
We've seen him.
For the last 4 days, he's been calling to us, calling to me.
And me.
Okay.
Rook will distract him if you can figure out how to get the others out of the pods and out of the building and back to the ballista.
Understood. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. You all open the doors.
Do they just open for us, or do we actually like press something? Or is it like sliding grocery store doors that just motion detect?
After you all decide what your plan is going in here, you take a step forward towards the doors, and they open slowly and gently, wide, ready to accept their children back home. While this is happening, Elgon, the third, you all hear 2 more ATVs come off, so now there's 3. And 2 of them stay behind, and 1 of them starts riding in your direction. It has the rider and the android, the Mason unit, sitting on the back.
Can I use my vision? Can I see if there's any weaponry on this ATV?
Yeah. Yeah. There's absolutely a semi-automatic weapon.
In the hands of the human?
It's on a strap, hanging on their back. But you can see the barrel of it sticking out behind their right elbow. It's there.
There is someone that is armed on this ATV. Now, please, I have something very important to ask you. I know that I just asked you to call me Elgon, but if you could refrain from calling me that until we know who this is, I would appreciate it. Please just call me Castor again.
Cassidy. Yeah. Okay. Within moments, the ATV rolls up. It stops about 60 feet from where you all have been kind of camped out. And the rider gets off. Still can't see their face. The android sits up, very stiff, and wheels around and starts marching in your direction.
Can I tell from this rider, do they seem young? Do they seem old? How do they walk? How do they move? Or can I not tell?
They're athletic.
They're athletic. Okay.
Were you hoping for like a 60-year-old man you might be able to take, or what is this?
No, I was trying to see if I could get if this might be the identity of someone I know. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, they seem athletic. They seem like a Marine. Or, not a Marine, but they seem like one of the private contractor military groups that Quest Jin has on the payroll.
Okay.
This is like a Soldiers of Fortune mercenaries. You know they've got these people.
Yeah. I will continue just kind of, waving the glow stick and kind of showing that I'm unarmed, and I will approach them. I'm not sure if Cassidy or Wakefield are approaching as well, or if they're remaining behind. But
Cassidy Garland says, hey, you guys got to help us get on. Captain Wakefield, we were a part of the Belissa. We were, obviously, you guys surely know that. We're here, and the person with the weapon turns it around, puts it in their hands, and so you can hear like a speaker coming from their helmet. Just stay back. The Mason unit is going to do a scan on you all. Just wait right there. Okay? Cassidy is... Yeah, fine. She holds her hands up, and this Mason unit comes up, and they have a med scanner.
can I ask you what you are scanning for?
This question is met with a very long silence. And it continues to scan Cassidy Garland. And the guy that is standing there with the gun doesn't really move, doesn't even acknowledge you. The scan finishes on Cassidy Garland, and the android brushes past you and starts making its way over to Captain Wakefield. Cassidy looks at you. She realized that they didn't answer you at all. And she's kind of got that face of like, don't worry about it. The android starts scanning Captain Wakefield. For those of you listening, David's face is priceless as he is trying to figure out what to do right now. And he can come up with no answer.
Seething.
The android begins scanning Captain Wakefield. Elgon, Castor, do you have anything on your mind right now that you'd like to get off your chest?
Well, I feel like the anomaly from the clones I may have just put into Wakefield, and that might show up in the scan.
Oh no!
Where were you guys? Oh, that was the sound of Rook and Gail not realizing what David and I have realized this entire scene.
No, I was thinking, I have no idea what's going on with Castor. I thought there was going to be something else. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they somehow maybe know about these clones, and they are trying to see what is what, and I may have contaminated Wakefield in their eyes. So...
GG.
We all know that's not how blood works.
Yeah, well, blood, mysterious things. Who knows how clone blood works? Do you know
That's the question.
Clone blood
This
works?
is now in the hands
Well,
of the DM, since he
Good
knows
for
how
you
clone blood
guys.
works.
You guys have a DM who doesn't know how blood works. So it's all right. You're standing there, and if Elgon could sweat, a little bead would be dropping down his little metal forehead. And then you hear a ping from the med scanner. And the android is looking at the screen, assessing the readout, turns its head and looks at the gentleman with the firearm and says, "It seems we have a problem. This one's infected."
Infected with what?
It continues to walk past you, ignoring your question. It goes over to the guy with the gun. And the guy with the gun starts to walk past you towards Captain Wakefield. Cassidy Garland says, wait. What do you mean infected with what? What do you mean? Answer him. What is it? What is he infected with? What does that mean? He's sick. He's been cut. Okay? We just need medical attention. And this guy is not responding to either of you. What do you want to do?
Kill him.
Gail, stand down.
Sorry.
Stand down.
Castor starts feeling this impulse to protect Wakefield,
Yeah.
and he is actively going to try and fight that impulse and
I think,
not do anything.
David, do you think it's time for a panic roll or no?
Well, that kind of feels like a sanity thing, maybe. He's like
Do you think
fighting.
it's a sanity?
I feel like it's sanity. I feel like he is he's trying to fight his instincts in this moment. Or his instincts are Wakefield's in danger, but he personally does not want to do anything about it.
Then let's do a sanity roll.
Okay.
Just hope it's not double failure. We don't want a critical fail.
That is a 97.
Go ahead and add another stress. Thankfully for you, a 97 is no different than a 78.
Yep. So does that mean that I would have to follow my impulse in any way, or can I resist this danger I feel?
What do you think, Dave? Oh, this is so tense.
I feel like Castor is kind of slowly starting to lumber towards this Marine,
Uh-huh.
and he is going to try and shut himself off.
Shut yourself off.
Yeah, he wants to try and like abort this impulse in any way possible.
And just shut down.
Yeah. Or just like go. I don't know if he has a sleep mode or anything. Of just kind of like he's going to try and.
That's
like,
what happens when you fail the
deactivate himself.
sanity. Is you like,
Yeah.
and then, oh man, wait, hang on. All right, so
Okay.
you failed the sanity roll, which means you're going to start to go after this Marine.
Yeah.
If you can make a body save, I'll let you shut yourself off.
Okay. My body is not a great stat of mine.
Because the sanity roll is what's getting us in trouble, and that's where I want to go. And if you don't want to go there, you're going to have to give me another save.
Okay. That is a 39, which is a failure.
You're going after this Marine. You start moving closer. And as you do, the other android arm grabs you by the elbow.
And Castor instinctively will say, Wakefield, run.
Captain Wakefield who is absolutely sick, absolutely tired, been bleeding out all day, looks up at this guy with the gun. And Cassidy Garland, when she hears you say Wakefield Run, Cassidy Garland is going to make a roll. She's going to run and jump on this guy's back.
Go, Cass.
So while that's
Helmet
happening,
off.
while that is happening, Dr. Freya, Locke, and Rook, David, go ahead and mull that over for a little bit. I'm going to give you some time to think about it. Feel free to. We're at episode 11, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Freya, Locke, and Rook. There's no tomorrows, except there is one tomorrow.
Just one
but there's no tomorrow after that. Dr. Freya, Locke, and Rook, you all enter with George Asper into this hallway. It's a very large stairwell made of stone steps leading down. And you can see at the bottom, it's lit with torches. And that burn this green flame. So everything's cast with this really sickly color. And you start making your way down these stairs. Hair on your arm standing on end. You can smell oil. Like grease, like mechanical oil. And you get to the bottom, you see these tapestries on these walls in this room. And it shows that figure from your visions. From your visions, you see this figure on the tapestries, this ruler standing over throngs of people.
People? Human people?
They are humanoid figures, I
Okay.
should say, not human.
Okay.
They are...
Are they like him?
No. They're very
Okay.
round, almost egg-shaped.
Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, kind of like egg people. Big, thick arms.
Is
And
this the guy?
Yeah.
What the hell? That's the leader? That's the guy?
Yeah. The analyst.
Okay.
Or that's what he calls himself.
you all see one image that is a group of these people. It looks like an uprising. These egg-shaped figures. They're gathered around a massive pit.
Is there a needle in that pit?
It looks quite like the parabola where you met Martin. The same parabola that killed Martin and nearly killed all of you with Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.
George.
In the next tapestry, you discover that it is not an uprising,
What a massacre.
but a mass suicide.
You know, you go from one planet to another and it happens on every planet, every society, I guess. You know about that Dr. Locke? I read that in a book once. It was all over the nose, like way back when. Something about Kool-Aid. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder what their version of Kool-Aid is. It's probably, I don't know.
Music, apparently, or sound.
Rook, you spot 2 exits from this room. One of them, leads to the pods where the original Dr. Freya Locke, the original George Asper, and I think that's it. Is there more?
Yeah, Melanie.
Oh, the original,
Barry. No,
original
Barry's gone.
Melly and the original Barry.
Original Barry, that's right.
Yeah.
Original Barry's there. Yes.
The original Barry.
Okay.
They're all there. But you don't know what the other exit is. Dr. Freya Locke, you see these exits. And you and George Asper feel very compelled to go into one of them.
I start walking towards that one.
I put a hand on her shoulder.
I shove it off. Yes.
Very in character. She's established she hates that. Cool.
Yes.
I don't see the threat that was here last time.
Which one?
Hard to
machine?
explain. A machine, yeah.
Okay.
So how about we locate it first? Otherwise, if I go alone or one of us gets caught out, less chance we're all going to make it out of here. Or any of us are going to make it out of here.
Where did you see it last?
Over there. As I gesture my head towards the
We'll
pod
say the
room.
left. We'll say the left door.
Yeah.
Which one were we drawn to?
To the right door.
Okay. Okay. That sounds fine.
Again, I don't know if you can kill this thing. But maybe we find a bucket of water, just right onto it or something. Lights out. Don't know. Maybe there's a power switch on the back. Or maybe it's gonna make smoothies out of us. We'll see. So,
I need you to understand. He could know what we're doing.
I guess it doesn't even matter.
It
You want to
does.
go in that right door? By all means, go ahead. I guess he's watching every move. Hey, over here. You see me?
No, I
His
meant
voice
he
echoes off the
Oh.
hallways.
could. Rook's voice, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the dude, the analyst. He's like, "Hey, I see you, Rook. Welcome back. All right, I just want you to know if I get any hints that he's about to take over, I'm gonna run. Okay."
Take
So-
over?
Take over.
What do you mean, take over?
He's very compelling. George,
You
what
know-
are you up to?
I would like to see myself.
Okay. Let's go then. And we head towards the left door.
Rook, who's still questioning this takeover, you can see it on his face. What does that
You
mean?
know, for a bunch of as I'm gonna just like, mutter underneath my breath as I trail behind, like, for a bunch of clones, y'all don't seem to be afraid of death. As I escort them over to door number 1.
Says the guy who
Died
blew
once.
himself up with a grenade. You all move trepidation, you head towards this left door, and it slides open. It's a mechanical door. Moves into a recess, slides out of the way. Down this hallway, you can see a couple different doors, but more importantly, you see the glow of these large, clear tanks filled with a blue fluid, and you can see bodies floating in these tanks.
Look around. Is there a robot of some sort?
You don't see anybody else but you and whatever's in the tanks right now.
Okay, I'm gonna quietly approach the tanks.
Start to walk towards the tanks, and you can see one of Melanie Devantes floating in this stasis. Her hair's a little longer.
Can I'm looking at the tank. I'm trying to see if I can make out any rhyme or reason to the buttons, to any mechanisms on it, anything.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to do an intelligence roll to see
Great.
if you can figure this out.
Okay. Can I use anything else?
Do you have something that I think you've lost half your skills from panics.
Just some of them. I don't, thinking of like field medicine and pathology, I don't know if I would know a way to look at like.
This is more mechanical.
It is more
Really?
mechanical. Okay, so intelligence. Okay.
Yeah. So just straight intelligence, just kind of checking it out.
Ooh. 10.
A 10.
Which
You can
it's a
see that
test.
there are different pipings, and you can see some of them are tubes that are funneling this liquid in, and there's another tube that is funneling it back out, like it's cycling in new liquid continually. But you can see other different components attached, and you follow them and you start to look at other tanks and where they all meet up. And there's a panel, like a podium inset into a wall, and it has these blocks that look like they can be repositioned. It doesn't look like English. If Castor were here, he would be able to describe it as similar to the podium from the parabola. But you find this podium, and Rook, when you see her kind of scanning it, you see George Asper is staring intently at the tank that has George Asper in it. And Dr. Freya Locke comes close to the tank with Dr. Freya Locke in it. Dr. Locke, when you see yourself floating in the tank, this is a moment of reality. You are not the only version of yourself. How does this affect you?
It's hard. I really did suspect, even hope, that it was true, actually. But at the same time, there was still some part of me that was certain that I was Freya Locke, the original. Because I just have too much of her. And I don't want to look at her anymore.
You look away, and Rook, you're looking down this hallway. Dr. Freya Locke is on the left, She's just recently stopped looking at herself in a pod. George Asper's on your right. He has also stopped, or he is continuing to look at himself in this tank. At the end of the hallway, there are these double doors that open up. They're the ones that you ran out of. They're the ones where you were being experimented on, where your flesh was being cut from your body. That's where you fought or ran away from the robot. And that's when you hear a rumbling. And you hear a growl. Dr. Locke, George Asper, you watch as they both turn their heads towards those double doors. You hear a thump. And another thump. And then a crash as these doors explode open off the hinges. And standing in the doorway is a creature close to 8 feet tall. It has long dark hair. It looks like Rook, but absolutely massive. And it has murder in its eyes. And that's where we're going to take a break.
I knew I wasn't the original Rook. The original Rook's right there in front of me.
Oh, this is the opposite of Cassidy Garland, the fat minivan. This is Rook, the super crossfoot steroid.
The monster
Rook
truck.
3.0.
So we
Yeah.
can properly visualize it. How many minivans big is this version of Rook?
This one,
Really?
so this one's a tight singular minivan.
Tight singular minivan. That's helpful.
It's really like an Escalade. Hey, what's up, everybody? In the middle of this break, which is not brought to you by Escalades. How's it going? I'm Jay. I already mentioned that before, and I just wanted to take this break to tell you that if you like this show, if you like what we're doing at Out of Depth, and you feel like you want to support us, there's a couple ways you could do that. One, just recommend us to your friends, recommend us to other people who are looking for dope-ass actual play podcasts or really cool stories. That would be helpful. If you think that you can do more than that, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/getoutofdepth, and you can subscribe at any level, and you can get access to the Q&A, the character questionnaires. There's these character backstory questionnaires if you want to look back and see all the weird shit that Rook and or Reedon and Gail and David came up with for their characters that may not come up in the show. You can read about those there. You can also get access to the post-season Q&A where and only the patrons are able to get access to this video of us answering questions about weird shit that happened and didn't happen and reveal all our secrets to each other. And some of our patrons will be able to submit questions to us that we're going to answer. You can do all that at patreon.com/getoutofdepth. We'd really appreciate it. But even more than that, we definitely appreciate anybody who recommends our show to others, because that is our main goal, is to get our show in the ears of as many people as possible. So if you can do that, I'd really appreciate it. If you would like to learn more about us, you can go to getoutofdepth.com, where you can reach us through email, which is usually pretty good for me, or any of the other social medias. We have social media accounts that we sometimes use. And Gail, I think... Oh, and if you want to learn more about Quest, Jin, and Pantodine, and all this other weird lore of the universe, you can go to our World Anvil page. Gail, can you throw up the World Anvil link for me? You all right, Gail? You look sour. Did you eat
I
some?
am. I'm
Was
thinking.
it the burger?
No.
Baby, I need you to take that hat off, and I need you to put on my co-pilot hat on these links.
You act like you can't click a link.
I'm doing this, man. Come on, stage manager. There we
Trying
go.
to figure out what we're supposed to do about this murderous 8-foot
Come on,
tall
baby.
rook.
You can hit up the World Amber link. The link is also available in the deep down below. You can check all kinds of stuff about Mason units, which is the android unit that our Elgon / Castor is, and this other android who he's just met, which may become his android nemesis in a moment. Yeah, I'm writing new stuff for that as we speak. It's our universe that we're going to be using for most of our games going forward, almost all of them. In some way, there will be some bleed over, I think, but you can learn about that there. I think I got everything. Thank you guys for watching this way. I think we really definitely we're down to 3 hours of game time here, guys. And it is getting tense. All right. Gail, don't worry. You're going to have plenty of time to think. Because I'm going back to David. This is a perfect episode of like A plot, B plot, right? Elgon. Cassidy Garland jumps on the back of this guy and he seems unfazed. He just kind of starts to shrug her off and she's like pulling at his helmet and she's like beating his back. She's frail and been sick for so long. Her bow and arrow is laying on the ground next to Captain Wakefield. Captain Wakefield is raising his hand like objecting to whatever it is that Cassie Garland's doing. And you hear this android say to you, please don't intervene. Please do not intervene.
So I've always had like this thing of Asimov's laws where I was curious how this other android would respond, because like it specifically says a robot shall not allow a human to harm a human, or by inaction allow a human to come to harm. And that always made me think like, so what do androids have like this like team mentality where it's like, well, if we're in war, I'll let them fight, or are they always like instinctively trying to be peacemakers? You know?
What do you want to do?
Well, I was curious how that android was going to respond. Elgon really wants to focus on Cass's safety, because that is the person that he feels like is more innocent in a way, more worthy of being saved. So, Elgon is going to say to the other android, I will try not to intervene. And we'll head over to Cass and try and prevent her from getting killed by
Making this worse than it already is. Yeah. All right.
So
Yeah. You go over to it and you grab a hold of her waist to try and pull her off. And as you do, she's yelling like Castor, like they're going to kill him. And this guy back elbows her and hits her right across the cheek. And she falls into you. She's kicking in your arms.
if I don't do this, they will likely kill you both.
Captain Wakefield looks up at this guy who's pointing this rifle at him. And he's looking pretty bad. But he looks up with these intense blue eyes. And for a moment you see the man that you met during training, the man who looked like he was going to lead this crew to history. And he looks up, blood in his teeth. Says, let me see your eyes. Let me see your face. If you're gonna do it, let me see your face. And the gun goes off. And Captain Wakefield is dead. Cassidy Garland is sobbing in your arms, screaming, "No. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?" Until it becomes unintelligible. This moan of why.
Castor will kind of lightly stroke her hair and just try and hold her and calm her down.
She pulls away and crawls over towards the dead body of Captain Wakefield. The soldier walks over to you, and for the first time he stops in front of you and acknowledges your presence.
Welcome to Wolfram.
Where's the haven?
What's left of it is about a half a day from here.
How much data from the haven do you have on you?
Some. Why are you here?
Well, when we didn't get an answer from you all, somebody had to come. And thankfully, somebody at base discovered that we had a friend on the inside. Isn't that right, Elgon?
It is. My father sent you.
Oh, man. Let's go home, buddy. And he starts walking away from you all.
How did you know about the anomaly?
He stops and turns, looks back, and he goes, "Anomaly?"
The thing you scanned Cass and Wakefield for. How did you know what to look for?
The robot said that he had something in him. We don't know what you guys are carrying. We can't risk bringing any kind of sickness onto the ship. Said she was clean.
Is this a rescue mission, or do you intend to do something here?
Oh, we intend to do something. Which one is she?
Cassidy Garland.
Tell her if she wants to go home, we'll take her home. If she wants to sit out here and die, that's fine too.
Do you have room for her on your ship, or shall we repair
We've
the
got
vessel?
room.
Elgon is going to turn and go back to Cass and say, as hard as this may be, I think you may be safe with them. You are not exposed to what Wakefield was.
I am making a panic roll for Cassidy Garland.
Yeah.
And that didn't go well. She gets up, and you see the glint of the hunting knife in her arm. She runs past you, and the soldier is nonchalantly sauntering back to the ATV.
Elgon is going to try and tackle her to the ground.
Make a speed check for me.
84.
She runs past you, and I just rolled a 25. She's going to jump on this guy, and she's going to plunge this knife into his fucking neck.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, indeed. She rolled 19 damage with this fucking thing.
Oh my gosh.
She plunges
the-
it right into his throat. I gave her 2d10s. She almost maxed them out. Because this guy wasn't paying attention. She plunges it into his neck. And you can just hear her screaming. He said, "Let me see your face." She pulls the knife out again, and a stream of blood flies out in the setting sun, sprays out on the rocky terrain, and you see this other robot, this android, this Mason unit, start to make its way towards Cassidy Garland.
Elgon is going to try and intercept this android and not let it get to Cass.
All right. You start going after this android. How do you want to intercept this android?
I want to try and come up from the side and I want to grab it like by the head and basically just try and like pop it off kind of thing. Just like full on strength, just like try and take this thing out.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Give me a check, C.
All right. Strength.
This may be combat, but I don't know. It's focused on Cassidy Garland. I might let you get away with strength.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do strength, and my strength is.
You're just
more
opening
than-
a can.
Yeah. He's distracted. He's not looking at me. I am just gonna try and strength and just kind of just try and like decapitate it.
Okay.
All right, that's an 11. That is a success.
Critical success.
Oh, critical success. That
It's
is
a critical success.
Bam.
I just
No.
rolled its body save, and I rolled an 88,
Oh my gosh.
which is a
fail.
critical failure.
Nice.
Somebody didn't screw those bolts in right.
You see this android, you go to tackle Cassidy Garland, you trip over yourself, you hit the ground, and you see her do this, and then you can see the android coming after her as she is screaming bloody murder at this asshole, and then you get up determined, and you walk over and you squeeze the top of this android's head. There's no rules about androids. There's no Asimov's laws about androids, and you rip its head clean off. It slumps to the ground. You just murdered this android.
David was so angry. His face was just so pissed as Elgon has to just sit there and watch this guy kill Wakefield. He feels so good crushing those androids.
Oh man, that's great.
All right.
Justice.
Rook, Dr. Locke, George Asper, this 7 foot, some odd feet tall, some odd inches tall Monster Rook, Mega Rook, as I have him in my notes, roars down the hall. Massive calves.
The juiciest.
The juiciest upside down heart shaped calves you've ever seen.
I would like to hide behind this podium. I just duck down.
All right, you duck down. George, Asper, and you are like across the hall from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so you both turn, like you did the head whip towards that way, then you spin around, look at each other, goo, and then you duck back behind this podium, making yourself real small. And George Asper is confused. And according to my dice, for those listening at home, I just rolled to see what George Asper does, and he's baffled. Rook, you have a spear.
Yeah. Do I know if these pods have like a drain button on the outside or like...
Dr. Locke is currently at a console that could operate it, but it's not written in English, and she needs time to figure out how to do it.
Would Rook know the protocols? Like, what if the front paneling of these pods just
They are made of
smash-
glass.
They're made of glass, right? But if you like smashed them open, would that cause any sort of like...
Yeah, what would happen?
The liquid would go on the floor.
Yes, but I meant like,
for the people
do we
inside?
know what would happen like in our stasis pods, for example?
Well, it depends on how bad you broke the glass.
Real bad.
Then the water would drain out, and they would be inside a pod with broken glass.
But they need time for like
Okay.
them to come to like equilibrium, right? When they're
Yeah,
in
a little
those
bit.
stasis pods. So
Yeah.
like hypothetically, if I break one, they're not gonna be like, "Oh, thanks for saving me. Let's get out of here." It's like,
Let's
It's
fight
going to
this
take it
thing.
some. It's going.
Yeah.
They're not going to be useful during this moment right now. No,
okay,
they're going to be pretty groggy. But
okay. Looking at Mega Rook, does he know that there's 3 individuals here in this room, or does he just see me?
let's find out. I have an intelligence for this character.
I'm
And
hoping
it
it's
did not.
lower.
It is super low. Full transparency. Its intelligence is very low, and it does not. It just notices Rook.
I'm going to beat the spear onto the floor to make noise. And I'm going to yell out, "Hey, motherfucker, come and get me. My dick is bigger than yours," as I begin to run out where we just came from. But as I turn, I'm going to give Dr. Locke and Dr. Asper a look of like, "I'm buying you time. Good luck." As I begin to sprint out, trying to, as I just make noise and just bop all the metal bits of this room to make as much like clang and distraction as possible.
You all see this huge Rook rumbling down the hall. It passes you both and making its way after the original Rook with the spear as they make their way into the tapestry room. So it follows behind, bursting through the sliding door. Like it doesn't open fast enough for the creature, and it ends up breaking part of it. And you all are alone in this tank room.
I want to try and figure out how to get the tanks open.
All right. Do you have any computer skills at all? Language skills, anything?
Nope.
Nope. So we're going to do intelligence.
Okay. I have a screwdriver and a book called Panic Harbinger of Catastrophe. I feel like that's going to get me something.
You do have a screwdriver.
Which I may be using here soon. Oh. Wait, no. Shoot. I have to look closely at that. No, it's a 47. My intellect is a 45. I thought it was a
Yeah.
41.
You're fiddling with this. That's what you're doing for this round. Rook, this thing comes in behind you, and it's now you all in this tapestry room. What do you want to do?
How big is this room again?
It's pretty big. It's maybe 50 feet by 50 feet square. With a stairwell leading up. That stairwell goes up about 60 feet. It's a big stair.
You said like we descended into like this room, and then on the other side of the room there is a stairwell going up. Is
So
that
you
what
guys,
you're-
the same staircase that you guys came down was about 60 feet. So that's opposite the room of you. The
Right.
staircase that you came down. So this
Gonna
room is about
just-
50 feet.
gonna just book it, and I'm gonna try to do something once I get to the top of the other side of the
Alright.
stairs.
Give me a speed check. This guy's
Gonna-
chasing you down.
Add athletics here.
Yeah.
Success with a 39.
Nice. Yeah. You start making your way towards the stairs. You get about halfway up the stairs.
Take a look back. Where's it at?
It's at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah. Any language, or is this just like incoherent,
Yeah.
just monstrosity language? Just
Yeah, it's
yeah.
garbled nothing. It's just rage.
Yeah.
It was built for one thing and one thing only. Defeating the most dangerous member of that crew.
Anything else I can do this round?
That was your movement. I mean, you could... I'll give you something else. Something not too crazy.
Could I possibly extend the spear at max length to try to give it a small little stabby stab?
Oh, it's too far away. You're like
Too
30
far.
feet up.
Don't
the
want to
stairs.
throw it. Gonna just
You sure you don't want to throw it?
No, I'm not throwing it. that's my only sharp object here, Jay.
Okay. All right, fine. Yeah. Do it your way.
Yeah, I'll throw it soon. Just not now.
Okay. All right. So you want to couch that for now?
Yeah. Because what leads out of this tapestry room? What's the next room after that?
So you're heading up the stairs, which means this takes you out of the building.
Damn. Already?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? These tapestries, are they made of like cloth or just like, or are they like
Some
etched
kind of
into...
fiber. Some kind of fiber.
Okay. And how is it held up?
Nails.
Like up high?
Yeah, but I mean they hang pretty low.
If possible, I would like to... Well, I'll do it on my next round, but I have an idea.
Okay. I can't wait.
Okay.
Gail, Dr. Freya Locke, you're trying to futz together this puzzle to try and figure out how to undo this. And George Asper puts his hand on your shoulder.
I
He's-
shake it off.
God,
Yes, George.
so predictable. I love you. He puts his hand on your shoulder
Which I shake off.
and he says, "He's here. Gail, I need you to make a body save."
Oh, I definitely fail. 75.
Okay. You are no longer in... Hang on. I'm going to wait for this
Yeah.
ambulance to go down before I get to the goods. You're no longer in the tank room. You are standing on a rocky surface staring down at the parabola. Across this expanse, you see George Asper standing on the opposite side of the parabola at the top. And you see a wave of these egg-shaped gray creatures. Their flesh is leathery, cracked. It almost looks like they're made of stone. And they are pushing in, and they grab a hold of you on either side, these huge, huge hands. And they start to pull you down into the parabola.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, so what are you going to do about it?
I mean, they're putting their hands on me, and I don't like that. I swat them away.
Yeah. Make a combat roll.
Okay. Uh, 46.
Which
That's
is
what I
well
think.
above your
Yes. not
combat
30.
score of 30.
Yep.
They grab you on either side and they start to march down this parabola towards the center. And you can see a bright flame burning at the bottom.
Where's George? Is he struggling? Is he coming?
He is struggling as well, and George Asper, you hear him crying out in your head, and he lets out a release, and you see about 20 of these creatures scatter away from him, like he just pushed them away with his mind.
Okay.
But he, in doing so, loses his footing, and he's still sliding down the parabola towards the center.
Okay. Can I try it?
Yeah,
I can.
sure.
Okay, seeing him do that, I'm gonna try it. Oh no, I fail. 84.
Try to do it.
I'm not used to it.
All right. Okay. You try to do it, and it's just not there for you.
Yeah.
While this is happening, Rook, what do you want to do? You're standing up here with your spear. You see these tapestries hanging along the walls.
I'm going to find a corner where there is a tapestry nearby,
Okay.
and I am going to wait for Mega Rook to come closer into the corner.
Now you're 30 feet up this staircase,
Yeah.
so you're
And
just
that's-
on the stairs.
And the tapestries are like down on like the flat level.
Yeah.
Still gonna try to like weave around, make myself to a tapestry with
Alright.
the intent to cut one so that way the tapestry falls on top of Mega Rook and
Sure.
blinds, and you know they're wrapped up in it.
Yeah, man. All right. So if you want to try and avoid Mega Rook, you're gonna need to make a speed check.
Okay. It's a 96.
All right. You drop down off the stairs, trying to run towards a corner where there's these tapestries, and before you can get to them, you feel this huge foot go into your back as it kicks you. And you're going to take 10 points of damage.
That's a wound.
It is. Are you down to your last one?
Yeah, 9 HP on the last one.
That is a wound. So let's go to the wound. Blunt force. We could get a broken spine. You're looking for not a 9.
For not a 9. Yes. Let's go for it. I'm still the only character that has had to roll on the wound table. And the next week is the finale.
Oh, but this is the time.
That's a
Oh,
1.
it's coming. Don't worry.
It's a
Roll
1.
1.
Yes.
This has happened to you before. You're winded, so you're going to be at disadvantage until you catch your breath. Unfortunately, it knocks the air out of you. It sends you across the room, and you are under that tapestry that you wanted to be in the corner, but you are also cornered.
Mm.
What do you want to do now?
I'm waiting for it to get closer because I'm trying to time it where when I cut the tapestry, it's going to
Yeah.
fall on top of him. I lose him for a bit, buy myself more time.
Okay. You feel it lumbering towards you, and it is going to try and hit you, and it's going to swing. You can do your action that you were waiting to do.
Okay, is this still combat?
Oh yeah. Oh well, to do this, what would you think this is? We could
feel
call
like
it
it-
combat.
I feel like it'd be
You're fighting the tapestry.
it's either that, but I feel like he's adding a little bit of like military training since he's working on the fly,
Yeah.
battle tactics.
Sure.
Um,
I'm more than fine with allowing that. That's fine.
okay, so I'm adding that to combat.
Sure.
Okay, my gate is 56.
Come on.
No, 58.
58. You have to do it at disadvantage anyways
Oh right, let me just see if I got a
because you're wounded or
critical
winded.
failure. 59.
Yeah. 58 and 59.
Yeah.
All right. You go to swipe at these tapestries and they're not coming down. This little blade at the end of this rod, this stick it's not catching, so it's not cutting. And this guy is going to try to put another foot on you. And I rolled an 86. It goes to kick you, and it puts its foot through the wall. Or not through it, but like into the stone. You see it crack. And it misses. Gail, Dr. Freya Locke, you're struggling as you're being brought down this parabola. And you can see George Asper is running towards you. You hear his voice in your head. I'm coming. I'm coming to help you.
This has to be all my head. This has to be all in our heads. Like, yes, he's able to overcome certain aspects of it, but I want to I know that this is sound, and I know that we're in the parabola, and I know that this guy works through sound.
Yeah.
I want to sing at the top of my lungs and also project with my mind into the minds of everyone around me. Taking some from Martin Sapp. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart.
Yes. Yes.
And it's
so you start
Just
singing
as
this
fast
hymn.
as I can, because it's like if I like battering ram with these syllables and this
Yeah.
sound.
and you're trying to amplify this frequency with your psychic ability. Give me that
Yes.
psionics roll.
No. No. No, it's 62.
All right. Gail, you try, and you're going to take some damage. Oh, my God. Oh, man, I'm sorry,
I haven't
dude.
taken damage since episode 1.
How much, what is your damage sitch?
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9
You only
damage.
have 9?
No. I've taken 9 damage total.
I need to know how much you have left. I don't care about that.
Oh, I don't know. 27.
Okay, well, now you have 7.
What? So I lost a wound.
Yeah. Hey, Reading, it's cool, man. You're not the
Boom.
only one. You're not the only one. Don't worry about it, okay? Dr. Freya Locke, you are going to roll a D10. I rolled max damage on my dice.
You suck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a d10.
You're going to roll a D10, and this is going to be your wound.
That was a 5.
5. Your eardrums explode,
Okay.
and you can't hear anything.
Oh my gosh.
Is this permanent? I don't know. Do I?
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
We'll see. You no longer hear the joy down in your heart. You can only feel the vibrations of it through your entire body. However, this echo still persists, and you see these egg people cowering in fear from the sound of it. And George Asper is still running towards you. David, Elgon.
Can I run towards him? Did they let me go?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Gail, I just transitioned. Don't fuck my transition.
Damn it, I
Don't
thought
fuck
I
my
had
transition.
movement, man.
Don't fuck my transition.
Let's just start it over, man.
Oh my God. I transitioned. You got to respect the transition.
Can I interrupt again?
Well, yeah, we're still in the interruption.
Good.
It's
That
still
was all.
here. It's still
I
here
just-
with me.
It's still here. With
The
you.
interruption is still here with me.
It's a good line.
You're running towards George Asper.
Yes.
Aloud.
Thank you. All right, Dave. Please continue.
Elgon. If we can get to David's scene now. Oh, man. Elgon, you just ripped this fucking dude's head off. This android crushed it like a can, tossed it over your shoulder. And Cassidy Garland rides this guy down into the dirt. And she's stabbing into his little spacesuit. 2, 3, 6 more times. What you want to do, man?
I'm gonna see if I can disobey Asimov's laws and go against my instincts and try and help her take this guy down.
You go over to it and you give me a sanity roll
Okay.
as you're like, I want to help.
Yeah. 87. That's a failure.
You take another stress. You come over and you realize he's already dead.
Wow.
She looks up at you, feral.
You did it. My word. I didn't think you stood a chance.
She's like completely in shock. She doesn't know how to respond. What do we do now? You look up and you can see that there are still 2 ATVs.
Are
in
they
the
heading
distance.
at a distance? They don't necessarily know what's
They're
happening.
they're back at their ship,
Yeah.
but they probably just saw this scene break out. So you probably have moments before their engines are going to rev up and head your direction.
How similar do I look to this android? Like, does it have any identifiable things that, if I were going to try and imitate this android, would that be possible?
I mean,
Do we look enough alike?
you have like Martin Sapp's dried blood all over your fucking face, and you're dirty as shit. This guy looks fairly clean. So unfortunately, like you look like you've been weathered.
Yeah, but this android might have just seen combat. He could look like that.
I mean, you guys look identical, for sure, except for
Does he have like a jumpsuit on? Like, does he have like is there
The android?
anything that-
No.
Yeah. There's nothing that else I would need to do other than maybe try and imitate how his robotic voice sounded. Or
I mean, they did just see. They may have gotten confused and not realized which one tore the other one's head off.
But so they're close enough that they could have seen this. They would have seen.
If they've got binoculars, they could be watching you.
Gosh. All right. I thought they were heading out in like different directions, but they easily could have just been watching this.
They were watching.
Okay. Cass, I think the only option is for us to run. If we take this ATV, the safest place for us may be to try and find our friends.
She looks at you and she says, "Where?"
I know where they went.
And are you going to drive this ATV?
Yes, because Cass can take the gun of the guy, and if they're following us, she could shoot while I drive.
Because that's exactly what's going to happen. She takes the semi-automatic or the assault rifle. She takes that. She holsters it. Fuck that bow and arrow stuff. She takes one last look over at Captain Wakefield, and she gets onto the back of the ATV, and you are going to drive.
Is there any way I could? Because he seemed like he had a communicator, right? He had some sort of radio
In his helmet? Yeah.
Yeah.
In the head of the helmet,
I'm gonna take that helmet so I can hear.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it took you a minute, Dave, but you're caught up now.
I got there.
Let's fucking go.
All right.
You snatch that helmet off of the dead soldier,
Yeah.
and you hop on this ATV. You throw it in the basket. Cassidy Garland's riding on the back with an assault rifle, and you start riding not south towards the haven, but north back to the lab.
Yes.
Not east to the parabola.
No.
No. Who would want to do that?
North to the lab?
Yeah, he's deciding he wants to hole up with you guys.
Yeah.
Where Rook is,
Where you are, yeah.
but where Dr. Locke and Dr. Asper got.
In the
like-
We
process,
teleported?
he doesn't
He
know.
got
maybe.
teleported.
I don't
I
know
mean,
what happened to you.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
has no idea what happened.
Yeah. All right.
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know what happened.
if we escape to the Ballissa, then that's just everything that we go to is following. The only way that we have numbers is to find you.
Elgon, you hop onto this ATV, Cassie rides on behind you, and you rev it up, and you take off, and you guys have a head start on these other people as you hear them rev up, and they are coming after you all. The ATV wheels crunching over this gravel and rock and stone as the sun is setting, and we're about to head into night. That pink glaze of the sun, the red is starting to deepen in the sky. We see the silhouette of Cassidy Garland and Rook riding for their lives. Dr. Freya Locke, George Asper running towards one another inside this parabola. And Rook and Mega Rook are locked in this battle to see who will survive. Dr. Locke, as you're running towards George Asper, you hear the sound of this tone of music. Join me or perish. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Whoa.
Oh boy, guys. Everybody's in a tough spot, but I love it.
I'm imagining like the anime, like it's 3 split screens. It's like
Yeah.
We're all in our own situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man. Well, thank you all for watching this recording. If you want to hear what I end up doing with it, with the sound design, the editing, you can listen to that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever it is that you like to get your podcasts at. You can check those out. But thank you all for joining us. Thanks to Gail. Thanks to Reedon. Links to Reedon's Twitter is in the deep down below. You guys can go check him out and all the other streams he's a part of. And David, thank you so much. Thank you all for playing with me for tonight. Next week is the last episode. We're going to have a Q&A afterwards. If you want to be a part of that in some way, it may be too late by the time this streams, but head to our Patreon. You'll be able to at least watch it. But next week is it. Next week is the season finale of Out of Depth Plays Analysis Complete. We'll go on to a new game to be revealed fairly soon. But until then, to everyone watching and everyone listening, safe travels.